My name is Christa Campbell, and my teammate Maria unfortunately could not be here today, but she is sending her love, and we just want to thank you guys for being here to listen to our project. So we are both students in Questrom, focusing in innovation and entrepreneurship, and we wanted to use this experience to learn what it takes to create a successful startup. And with the help of our wonderful advisors, one of which is here, Professor Zions, we were able to make Busy Bee refills. Maria and I care so deeply about the planet, but we struggle to align our shopping choices with those values. This is due to a retail environment that does not prioritize the health of consumers and of the planet. Customers want to make sustainable choices in their everyday life, but they struggle to manage subscriptions across a bunch of different platforms or vet products and make sure that they actually are sustainable and make sure that they actually are doing what they say they're doing. On the other hand, we have companies that are creating sustainable household goods and groceries and those kinds of essentials that are struggling to reach their target market and connect with them deeply due to a retail environment that is just focused on prioritizing retail giants. And so the solution is Busy Bee refills. The way it works is we partner with companies that align with our values and our customers' values, and we put those companies' products on our platform. Customers can then purchase products throughout our platform, manage all of their subscriptions in one place. Once they place those subscriptions for a one-time fee, they'll receive a jar with a sensor in it, so the jar will automatically reorder products when you're running low. So instead of a time-based subscription model, it's a need-based subscription model. And once the jar triggers the notification that it needs a refill, it'll go directly to the company, and the company will send the refill just in time so customers only get the product when they need it, and so they're not caught with like a bunch of boxes piled up in the corner of stuff they don't need or not having enough when they do need it. This truly is a win-win situation for both entities. For customers, they receive products that they feel good about and that they want to bring into their home. There's also an element of convenience because they aren't having to manage their inventory and manage the shopping experience. On the other hand, we have partners, and they're gaining more information about their customers and how their customers use their products, as well as reaching a loyal customer base that truly wants their products that would have not had access to it for a variety of different reasons. And so the way we made this happen is starting with market research, and then we began product development once we understood the key problems. And throughout all of this, we've been working with a lot of BU resources. So for our market research, we wanted to start by figuring out what market we could support or what market we could provide the most value with our product. And through our research, we found that it is busy moms who are working, who care about sustainability and want to leave the world a better place for their children, but they don't have the time or energy to vet these products and manage these subscriptions. We wanted to find a market that was comfortable with technology in their homes and using technology, and also in an urban area because it's more difficult to transport your heavy laundry detergent when you don't have a car. Once we figured out what market we were targeting, we really wanted to delve deeper and understand what their pain points were and what the true issues were. We wanted to understand why sustainable consumption is so difficult. And we found that sustainable products are not as affordable or as accessible as their traditional counterparts. Subscriptions are often used to combat this, but then customers find themselves faced with a bunch of fees or markups, or they have too much product when they don't need it or not enough when they do. We also spoke with brands to understand where their issues are coming in and why they're struggling to reach these customers. And it's because customers are so exhausted of greenwashing and they don't know what products they can and can't trust. And so these brands are having a really hard time conveying this message to these customers. Additionally, like I mentioned earlier, retail giants are being prioritized, and they're the ones that are getting platformed, and these smaller businesses are having a difficulty achieving that as well. And so the way we made it happen is we have done hardware engineering and software engineering. Our hardware is designed by Matt, who is also in Kilachand. You all may know him. He's wonderful, and he's been designing our sensor for the jars. We are in the second phase of iterating the prototype right now. And then our software engineer, Nina, is working to integrate the hardware of the jar and the data that the jar collects with the app, the website, the reordering system, so that customers don't have to think about it, it will just be reordered for them. And then in terms of branding, we redid our branding to show our value proposition to customers better so that they could truly understand what we were offering. We also used a lot of BU resources, like I was talking about earlier. One of the key ones was Innovate at BU. If any of you guys are interested in working on your projects after graduation, I would recommend checking them out. They let you work with them up to a year after graduation, and they provided us a lot of funding, a lot of resources, coaches, and helping us map out something so difficult as starting a business. We also competed in the new venture competition with them and made semifinals, and we got accepted into the summer accelerator, which makes us feel confident that we can achieve our goal of launching by the end of the summer. We've worked with the BU Law Clinic, which has helped us navigate legal contracts and incorporating and all of those difficult things that they have a lot more knowledge about than we do. And then Innovate at BU has also connected us with Forge, which is a company working to help small businesses scale their manufacturing, and they're helping us produce our beta prototype. So we're hoping to have that launched in a month or so. So if you're interested in being a beta tester, let me know. Okay, in terms of the final products, the main one was our business model, and that's everything we were talking about, like how we make this happen, how we get these goods to our customers, and also our go-to-market strategy of how we reach these customers. Additionally, we did financial projections so that we could understand what funding we needed, and once we acquired the funding, where we would put it. And finally, we did a rebrand. We went from Modern Milkman, which was pink, and I loved it, but it didn't really convey what we were offering, to Busy Bee refills. And we have an Instagram and a LinkedIn if you want to stay up to date with us. They're still in progress, but yeah. And so looking forward, we are hoping to develop a more effective system for measuring our environmental impact and the impact of our customers so they can feel good about what they're doing and we can make sure that we're not adding to the issue of climate change. And we're also working to develop educational resources so customers can fight misinformation and vote with their dollars on products that they actually care about. Thank you.
Hi. It's really been fun to watch you do this from the very beginning. It's amazing how much this has grown. The question I actually have for you is, after like less than a year of this, like what's the hardest thing you found about trying to start this own business, especially against your own expectations about what should have happened?
Yeah, I think my biggest struggle has definitely been prioritizing tasks. There's 100 different directions you could go at any time. You could reach out to partners, you could reach out to people joining your team, you could reach out to customers, there's 100 things I could be doing at any given time, and it's really difficult to prioritize, and it's really difficult to know what will help us move forward the best. And so having resources like you and like Innovate at BU has been really helpful to help us kind of pinpoint that, but I think it's also just testament to the possibilities of this and the fact that there are a lot of areas that we can continue growing in.
Hi, Krista. Thank you so much for your presentation. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about how this idea got started, specifically with the jar and the sensor and the constant refill as a way to attract demand.
Yeah, so the idea initially came to me because I wanted to start a refill store, but they are hard. Like, nobody wants to collect their jars throughout the 2 weeks and then carry a bunch of jars to a store that's 45 minutes away because they're not that popular, and people are worried about the sanitation, the cross-contamination with allergies. There's just a lot of issues with refill stores, and so I wanted to find a way to make refill stores more convenient. And so the initial idea was shipping the jar with the stuff and then bringing the jar back and then shipping it, but that also isn't super effective because jars are heavy, they can break, there's a million issues with that. So it kind of just evolved into what we can actually make happen and how we can provide value to the most people for the least cost to them, because we wanted to make it accessible and we wanted people to be able to engage with us. And so this was the way we think that it would work the best.
Great job. So you said you're actually trying to get this launched pretty soon. Do you have companies that you are willing to work with you to be the suppliers of the soaps, et cetera, that you're looking to work with?
Yeah, great question. So we've been talking a lot with partners in informational interviews, but since we didn't have a finalized prototype, we didn't feel comfortable or confident like saying you need to sign a contract with us and like we need to lock this down. So we've had those conversations. For our beta launch, we're mostly just planning to not be charging a margin and just put the brands that like we're comfortable with on, because it's just to learn. It's not going to be that widespread. And then over the summer accelerator, that's one of our key areas that we're planning to grow is solidifying partnerships. But we feel like we would have more success once we have these jars in homes and say people like them and they work. And so that's kind of the plan of action for that.
Awesome. Thank you, Krista.